Welcome to part 5 of Jonbenét Ramsey Sketchy Details. If you have not watched part 1, 2, 3, or 4, I will leave the links for those in the description box, and as always, it's highly advised that you watch those first in chronological order. Now, continuing on to number 33. I just thought it was, appropriate to tell everyone that little Miss Jonbenét is buried on the southern 33rd parallel. This goes along with the whole Freemason theme that I seem to keep finding in this case. Moving on to number 34, in 1998, on December 12th, 1998, John Ramsey was photographed by a photographer named Frank Kaufman in mid-attack. John and John's son, John Andrew, along with one of John Ramsey's legal advisors, Mike Bynum, they were all having, or actually I don't even think they were eating, they were just at Pasta J's. I guess they had just moved to the location or did renovations or something. But as they were coming out, the photographer approached them. John saw that he had a camera and proceeded to attack him. So this kind of went against the whole theory that everyone was formulating from watching John on the interviews of him being this timid, almost wimpy guy. This was showing him clearly having an attitude and a temper, and it's already well known that John Andrew had a temper, so it must run in the Ramsey family. So for number 35, we're actually going to talk about Randall Simmons again. I came across this, and it claims that embedded within his pictures, only pictures of the kids that were in these porn rings, in these pictures he would embed a little image. Supposedly it was a cartoon image, and supposedly it was only seen if you looked like under one of those little microscope things, and that was to let people know, like, okay, this one's for sale or whatever, but I don't know how I feel about it, because the pictures are really shitty, honestly, but I just thought it was worth noting because I do think that there is a huge child porn ring that operates out of Colorado. I do believe that I bookmarked where I found that, so I will leave the link if I did. If not, here's a screenshot so that you guys can see and find it for yourselves. So for number 36, we're going to talk about James Michael Thompson, or also known as J.T. Colfax. Now, on July 14th of 1999, he trespassed into the empty, vacant Ramsey Boulder house. He spent the night there and then proceeded to, I guess upon leaving after he was done staying the night, proceeded to stuff newspaper clippings of the Jonbenét Ramsey case into the Boulder house through the mail slot and then light it on fire. Now, this guy was so stupid that he just wanted notoriety for it, and since it didn't catch big fire and nobody noticed, he ended up calling the cops on himself the next day and then telling them about it. But this guy, prior to this, has a charge and was arrested and served time for abuse of a corpse because he was caught with pictures that he had taken while working for a morgue transporting the bodies. And he took pictures of certain dead bodies that he put signs on, like funny signs, and then took pictures of them. So just thought I would share that because that guy seemed weird. Anyway, quickly, moving on to 37, we're going to talk about John Fernie again. I just always found it really curious how he claims that he saw the ransom note from outside of the house through a sliding glass door that was locked, and that he read it from there. Not only that, but it was facing the other direction. So he's claiming that he read it upside down through the door. That is ridiculous. He has glasses, but does he have supersonic sight? I doubt it. But also when or how far is the spiral staircase where it was originally found, quote unquote, compared to this area that John Fernie claims to have read it from outside the house. Like, it's never brought up how it got from supposedly these steps, because supposedly Patsy didn't pick it up, and supposedly John didn't pick it up. Like, how did it get from the steps to the other room then? Anyway, swiftly moving on to 38. In August of 1997, the Boulder Police Department decided to stop sharing new information about the case with the District Attorney's Office. And what do you know? Soon after that decision, the Boulder Police Department's computer system got hacked. And a lot of files were lost. So, what the fuck is that about? Like, come on. So many stupid signs in this case that show that there was like such high up corruption that like people, like so many people should have been fired for this, but of course not. Moving on, number 39. So a lot of people think that Jonbenét was the only murder in 1996 for Boulder, Colorado. There was deaths, of course, but there wasn't another murder. Well, there's a few people and a family that would like to have the Boulder police tell the truth and tell otherwise, because there was a woman, she was 37 years old, but her name was Lorraine Florence Lawrence Lopez. Lots of names, right? She was found in the ditch weeks before Jonbenét's murder happened, and she was found in her underwear, face down, and she had been beaten up. Well, a neighbor claimed that he had saw her in the middle of the night in her underwear, sitting on top of ice in her underwear and a t-shirt, crying with a beat-up face and a bloody nose and stuff, and that he walked her inside her house, and that's the last he saw of her. Why he didn't call the police then for her, like, is ridiculous. But that's supposedly the story. Well, the next morning, or maybe even a couple days after, like, that night or whatever, she was found in a construction ditch upside down, and she was clearly placed there because, like, this piece of wood that was covering the hole was, like, replaced back over it after she was put inside of it. But the sketchy thing is that her mother was Geraldine Vodecka. This woman, very temporarily, was a former housekeeper of the Ramseys. What do you know? Really weird, right? But the Boulder police insisted that this was an accidental death from falling in there or suicide. I don't remember which one they did, but they didn't say that there was any foul play or anything, despite the fact that the girl was beat up. So, super sketchy. So I mentioned Francis Sheldon in part 4, the owner and operator of North Fox Island in Michigan. And I said that he had different camps set up as fronts so that he could fly young underprivileged boys to his island. Well, one such front was called Brother Paul's Children's Mission. But to try to sum up and just explain part 4, the previous video, I'm going to bring up what is like an informal club called the Good Old Boys Club, which is basically like all the not all of them, but just, okay, some sons of different military officials from the 70s that were going around raping and killing children and women and getting away with it because of who they were and who their father was, most importantly. And I really, really do believe that John Ramsey is one of these boys. And I brought up all those things in video part 4, the snow murders and the Atlanta child murders, because those were the exact times that John was in either one of those places. John was there during those times. And based off of that document from part 1, I'm convinced that John is like this serial child killer who needs to be stopped like ASAP, to be completely honest. But I am not saying that I think John and John alone is who murdered Jonbenét Ramsey. I think he had there were multiple people involved. So for 41 and the last one for this video, I'm going to bring up a girl named Jessica Shaffner. Now, in 1972, a man named Peter Roy Fisher was charged with murdering her in Boulder, just a few doors down from 755 15th Street. I've decided to make this one half the time as the ones that I've been making so that I can see if I'm able to push them out there faster. Like, let's see if I can get part 6 out faster than I did part 5. So we're going to do a little experiment here. So thank you for watching part 5. There will be a part 6. Please like, subscribe, and share. I do not get paid on YouTube. I'm not monetized, but it's very important, the questions that I propose, because we all need to realize that we have been duped tremendously by this case. And I honestly believe that if John Ramsey dies, then Jonbenét will never get justice. So, God bless.